So welcome to the Be Fit podcast. This topic we're going to talk about today with me and Coach TT is going to be the unpopular opinions. Now, as coaches, we've got our own strong views on things in the world, training, nutrition. So this is just a bit of an insight into our pet peeves, pisses us off, about people, about humans. People not helping themselves and everything to do with that. And just a bit of a selection of our opinions. So
and rants.
we're going to do a bit of ranting as well. We're going to get pretty angry with things. So let's start the session with Coach TT. We're going to do some. Let's talk about first thing on the list. We've got a list in front of us here. First thing we're going to talk about is false promises to kids.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
So, trained people, generally people are parents. Most of the people who train over 30s, over 40s, have kids. So people talk a good game, don't they?
Yeah.
They say, well, in our consultation, we always ask them what the biggest values are, the biggest priorities in life. And they'll always put the kids at the top, they'll put the job second, the house third, everybody else, the friends fourth, and they'll always put themselves about fifth, don't they?
Yeah, the health is at the bottom of the list.
Health's at the bottom of the list.
When really it should be at the top.
Yeah.
Well, not near the top.
So you're saying if they actually put the kids at the top of the pile, then they should put themselves at the top of the pile?
Well, yeah, ultimately, yeah, because if you're not fit and healthy and you're not able to do things with your kids, then are you actually putting them first, or are you still putting yourself first? So, you might have a weekend where you go out on the lash, you eat loads of shit food, you're not fit and healthy, you go up the stairs and you're puffing because you're not in the best condition, but you're saying to everybody that you would do anything for your kids, but ultimately you're potentially putting yourself in an early grave.
Yeah.
And is that really putting your kids first?
Exactly, but so you're not doing everything for your kids.
No, you're not.
By being a lazy bastard,
You're still potentially putting yourself over your kids.
Exactly, you're being selfish. But you talk a good game, don't you?
You talk a good game. Oh, yeah, I'd do anything for my kids, but really, would you?
But you wouldn't. And you wouldn't die for your kids. But if you're prepared to die for your kids, why your kids don't want you to be dead. They'll be happier if you was alive. So make sure and do everything you can to stay alive in the tip-top condition.
But exactly, because you also don't want to be old and grey and wheelchair-bound or immobile to the point where your children then have to look after you when they should be living their adult life themselves.
Exactly.
So
you don't want your kids wiping your ass, do you?
Well, no, ideally not, no.
That's somebody else's job.
I certainly ain't going to wipe my parents' asses. No.
So false promises to kids. Next one we got on the list is excuses. Now, this triggers coaches. This triggers us. Anybody related to this industry will be sick to death of people's excuses.
Same.
And we all have excuses. And the people with the least excuses are people who generally go further, don't they?
Yeah.
And what we see in here with people with fat loss, with lifting weights, the people with the least excuse, the people will go, X, Y, and Z, I've got this, and this, but it's only an excuse. I find time. I train at 6 o'clock in the morning every single day, or train last thing on an evening, 7 p.m. at night, to get my workout done.
Yep.
And I'll be getting my steps in at 8, 9 p.m. at night because it's a priority to me, it's a value to me, because I know how much it means to me. Yeah?
Yep, 100%. Like, I'm tired. We have clients that come in tired, pregnancy clients, other clients. They're tired. Of course you are. You've done a 10-hour shift. But you know what? You're prioritising yourself and saying, do you know what? I could say I'm tired and I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to get out there and do it.
What day are you not tired? Every single
Always
day,
tired.
when somebody, at 6 o'clock in the morning, when I'm in my sessions and somebody says, how are you doing? If I said I'm tired, I'd be saying I'm tired every single day.
Exactly.
So you get bored, you get sick of saying the same, you get sick of saying the same thing.
They're not excuses.
We're always tired.
They're not excuses. These are things that happen in everyday life and they will happen until the day we die. We're going to be tired. We're going to have sleepless nights. We're going to have times where we're really, really busy. There's certain things that might be going on at home that are a bit different. But do you know what? I'm sure everyone can spend, even if it's 20 minutes, doing something to better themselves in a fitness way. is much better than just sitting down, doing out, saying, oh, well, I've been busy today.
But do you believe tiredness is more stress
Yeah.
and pressure they put on themselves rather than actual physical? How many people are actually physically tired? How many people do you come across on a daily basis who are physically tired?
Exactly. I mean, you could use the famous Nimsdai's quote at this point.
Hashtag Nimsdai, hashtag 14 peaks.
Hashtag hero.
Yeah.
You know, he says when your body's fucked, you're actually only 45% fucked.
Yeah.
So actually, there's way more in the tank than you expect. And one of the biggest things is obviously if you train and you exercise, you actually give yourself energy.
Yeah,
People think that it's going to make them worse and it's going to make them more tired, when actually it has the opposite effect.
Exactly.
And you only have to ask anybody who comes here and they agree.
Yeah. And it is though, isn't it? You know, when you're stressed, it's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when you're physically tired, you start to get injuries, you start to get niggles, fatigue, chronic fatigue and things like that, and that's when you need to step back. But that's very rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we see people all the time who are tired. And again, sleep is the most important part. And when people come in and they said, you're not in a broken sleep, blah, 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 what time do you go to bed? I went to bed at 11:30, 12 o'clock. Well, that's why, innit?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Get to fucking
Don't
sleep.
get me wrong, sometimes it's hard to sleep, but, you know, there's certain things that you can do to help you sleep.
Sleep is the most important part. And if it's anything to do with your sleep and you don't have little toddlers or little babies, then that's something what you need to sort out as a person, innit?
Yeah.
And if you don't sort that out, then you're never going to be getting up and training in the morning. No, you're never going to be getting up. You're going to be a lazy bugger because it affects your day, and it affects what you eat. It affects whether you go to the gym or not. It affects how you think, how you approach people.
Yep.
It is the most important part about anybody's day is how much they slept and whether they got the equivalent amount of sleeping. It changes you as a person, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if it's an excuse that they're tired, are they more stressed? Are they training too hard? Very, very, very unlikely they're training too hard most of the time because, it's because of lack of sleep or it's because of stress at work, innit?
Yeah.
But that's why they need to come to the gym. They need to come to the gym to expend that energy, build that energy, because energy is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Give themselves more energy by training. So when people say to me, I'm tired, you're mentally tired, well, get to the fucking gym.
100%.
Get to the gym because that's the one place you need to go. Because using your muscles it helps with things like stresses and anxiety, and again we just talked about more energy and the oxytocin levels from
everything.
Being around people makes you feel better, doesn't it? Makes you feel better.
Have a laugh.
Yeah. So excuses to do with motivation.
Oh,
So when people say they lack motivation,
I've lost motivation.
yeah.
Have you really lost motivation, or is it just that you just can't be asked? I think people use motivation in the wrong way.
As an excuse.
Yeah, motivation is the wrong word to use.
Yeah. They've lost, it's not a priority anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's no longer a priority. It was at first, and they no longer deem it to be a priority. But,
yeah.
And
it's like up there with
motivation.
a can't afford. When people say they can't afford, they can afford. Most people can afford. They just don't value it as much as what they'd value something else.
And they need to reevaluate their priorities then, So, fair enough, it might be that somebody has something that's come up externally that means that their priority for shifts a little bit.
Yeah.
But they've still got to be mindful that health is... Everything else can come and go, but your health is, to me, it's more important.
Yeah.
And it needs to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, and it's just wasting time, isn't it? I'm not motivated. I'll come back when I'm motivated. Well, I'll see you in 6 months, Andrew. You know what I mean? It's just like, we're just going to waste 6 months of your life. Get it done. Get it done, feel better about yourself, and then your results will give you that motivation.
Basically, what you do is you juggle things around. You can make it fit into your daily schedule if you really wanted it to.
Yeah, but what actually gives people motivation?
You've got to be disciplined with yourself.
No, it's results, isn't it?
It's results, yeah, but you're not going to get the results if you don't come.
Yeah. So you need discipline at the start.
You need to be disciplined.
You need patience at the start.
And you need to be patient, and you've got to appreciate that it ain't going to be overnight. But then you've got to... The motivation comes from seeing things change. But people expect, and it's the next one of the next subjects, that they're going to see it straight away, instantaneously.
I've signed up for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Where's my results?
Or they're not putting in the effort outside of the gym. They're putting in 100% in the gym, but not putting the same effort in outside of the gym. But then they're saying, well, I ain't seen the results, it's been 8 weeks, so I've lost my motivation. It's like, no, it's not. They still struggle, it takes time, doesn't it? And I think people need to realise that.
Yeah, I mean, I said to people all the time, it's like, but when people tell me that, it's like, but the first thing we needed to do for you was to stop gaining weight.
Yeah.
Now that'll take a few weeks to stop you gaining weight, to hit maintenance before you can even think about losing weight.
Yeah.
So within like a month, any amount of adjustment on the scales or with the fat loss measurements is an improvement, is results.
Yeah.
Now people think they could sign up for 1 month and they could be a completely different fucking person, don't they? Like they're going to walk down the catwalk or something. And I think that's to do with good marketing on social media and how a kind of fast fix approach.
28-day wall Pilates.
Yeah, because it's marketing, isn't it? And if you're going to sell something, you're not going to sell people the truth, because the truth is not what people want to hear. People want to know, I'm going to part with my money, I want results in the fastest amount of time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they're going to go to the person who actually markets that compared to the person who says, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to take 6 months, but you're going to do it, £1 at a time every single week. Yeah. You're going to get there, and it's going to be a better results than if you did it fast. Nobody gives a shit about the actual hard work, the proper way to do it. People just want you to fucking lie to them and tell them exactly what they want to hear, and then they're more happy to part with the money.
What's that fable? Is it the tortoise and the snail?
The tortoise and the fucking snail.
Is that the right one?
The tortoise and the hare.
Oh, that's the tortoise and the hare. Oh yeah, a snail and a tortoise are pretty slow, aren't they?
The tortoise and the snail. Fucking hell.
It's been a while. My kids are 13 now.
Roald Dahl didn't do that one, did he?
Well, Roald Dahl did.
No, he didn't, did he?
Stupid PT edition. So no, it is though, isn't it? The slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady always wins the race.
So be patient, basically.
For instance, like somebody could put a post out on Facebook, Instagram, and say, "Go to the gym, lift weights. Lifting weights is one of the best ways to lose fat, become more active, yada yada yada. Track all your calories." Nobody's interested. Somebody come on sell on Facebook. Here's some magic beans. You take 5 of these a day. You put them in a syringe.
A syringe.
You inject it twice a day, and you will get all your fat loss results within 2 weeks. £250 a pop. Everybody's going to go straight down that route and do the fast route and do that.
Yeah,
because
fix.
Quick fixes, easy route, but that way fucks everything up. It makes it hard in the long run to get results, because if you believe that quick fixes is the only way you're going to get results, you're going to have no patience to actually get there.
And when those injections
you're going to have a lazy attitude, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
And when it stops working, when it fucks things up, you're just going to look for more quick fixes, rather than going, hang on a minute, shall I just do it the proper way? Yeah. It's like if you get like a joiner in to hang you a door, and he's trying to fit this door.
Have you ever known a joiner?
And he's just trying to do it the fastest way. Once he started doing it the quickest way, and he's fucking it up, and he's not going to say to himself, you know what, hang on a minute, let me just do it the proper way, because that's the best way, and I only have to do it once. He's already balls deep into fucking it up, so he might as well carry on fucking it up on it.
Yeah.
Because he's just trying to get the fastest results possible to get out that door, to get his money. It's the same thing when you're doing anything like lifting weights or anything like fat loss. If you're looking for quick fixes all the time, you've got no patience. You're never going to be happy, are you? You're never going to be happy with what you've actually got, because then the bar rises again, and you're always looking further. You're never going to be happy, which brings us on to.
I mean, we've got millions of.
We've got a few more, haven't we? But focusing on the end result rather than the journey. Again, it's like if you had a magic wand and give someone of your clients, like, there you go, that's your results. They're never going to be happy because they haven't earned it. It's about the journey, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got to buy into the journey in order for it to work. If you're always focused on the result at the end, you're not going to enjoy it. And once you stop enjoying it, that's when you're going to lose your motivation. You're just not going to turn up, because who wants to do something that they don't enjoy? So what you've got to do is learn to enjoy the journey and the process and all the little small wins on the way to getting you to the results that you want. And do you know what, like we said, your results, what you wanted from it is probably going to change. Like everybody gets to a point where they're happy with the fat loss and then it's like, right, what do I want to do next? And there's nothing wrong with that because we evolve and we want to, we're continually looking to ways to improve, but you've got to enjoy the process.
Yeah, and it's all them wins, isn't it? Because the process should never end, should it?
No.
You should keep the process going, because the longer you keep it going, the better condition you're going to be when you're elderly, when you're a senior.
Yeah.
As soon as you stop, that's when you get complacent, and that's when things go backwards, and that's when your mental health goes, because you need that distraction in life, don't you?
Yeah.
To work on yourself, to be constructive, to have this kind of time away from work, from kids, your time to build on you gives you more enjoyment than actually, God, if I had a 2-inch skinnier waist, and I was happier when I was 10 kilos down in the weighing scales, because you're a different person now. You've got different responsibilities. You've got a different job. You're complete, So by giving somebody what they want doesn't make them feel any fucking happier, does it?
No.
They believe that, and that's what they come in. They say, I want to be 10 kilos lighter. I want to be 2-inch on my waist. You're like, ding, ding, there you go. You haven't earned it. Anything you earn, you don't appreciate. It's a matter of time you put it before you put it all back on again, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And the focus changes. They're like, oh, I've done that now. I'm not happy there now. I want to be like this. And
never happy. We're never happy, are we?
I think as a race, we are never happy, and we're always striving for bigger and better things, which, don't get me wrong, is a good thing.
Yeah.
We should never be complacent, and we should never be, don't get me wrong, you can be happy to an extent with things. Of course you can,
but we never are, because we are as big as critics. We're never really truly happy with us own skin, are we?
It keeps life challenging, but it might not necessarily be fitness related. It might be something outside of fitness that you're not happy about. Go out and change it. There's only one person that can do it. Because
results is how you feel.
Yeah.
Rather than a number on a scale, how many inches you've lost.
Or what other people think.
What other people think, exactly. A lot of time people do this to please other people, to please the friends, to please the partners. And if you've got that mentality, then you're destined to fail straight away. You have to do this to make you feel better. Start within between the ears, isn't it?
100%. It's not for me. It's not about what I tell my clients. It's not about what anybody else thinks. It's about what they feel inside.
Exactly.
So
it's how you feel.
You have clients going, "Oh, my friend's telling me why are you training? You've got no weight to lose. You really blah 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 blah." That's not it. It's about how they feel inside. And they're doing something to better themselves. So listen to yourself and do things that make you happy and what you want to do. And ultimately, you're not doing anything wrong by doing that.
So let's move on to people overcomplicating things.
Oh, the joys.
The joys, yeah. Which I saw something on Facebook today. Some lady posted some kind of fat loss plan, which will like lose 1 or 2 pounds. How long it take if you lost 1 or 2 pounds a week? How you can get your results by Christmas, and then if you wanted to lose more than that, you get it done like in 8 weeks or 4 pounds a week. And everybody jumping on her. And this lady on this post had about 50 comments of a few people just kind of just bashing her down, just saying that this is really detrimental to people's mental health and how, this can fuck people up and blah, 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 blah. But you can't,
what's that doing to her mental health?
But it's like if you've got an opinion on something, now that might be absolutely right for one individual, one person. It might be detrimental to them. But that doesn't mean for everybody. Exactly. And you can't say, one size never fits all. No. So that approach, by looking at someone, how much weight I'm going to lose, 1 to 2 pounds a week, might work for somebody. It might keep them motivated. Somebody might be like, actually, looking at that, because it's the ballpark figure in it, and losing scale weight isn't accurate compared to losing fat. But that doesn't mean, you know what I mean? So that person might be like, actually, I want to concentrate on just doing everything to do with my lifestyle, get my steps in, tracking my calories, and I'm not bothered what the scale what the scale says. I won't stand in the scales. That's absolutely fine. Either way is fine, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
But what the most important thing about this, and talk about extreme views, is that you can't say, nobody can sit here and say, not me, not Laura, not anybody, who's in this industry, or any kind of GP, scientist, or whoever can sit there and go, this is the only way you can do it. Or if you do that way, then that's going to mess up your mental health and be bad for everybody else and, fuck everybody else up.
Yeah, no, we can't. I mean, you'd have to be... for me, I think you'd have to be pretty stupid to do that.
Everybody is different.
But everybody has an opinion, everybody's different. What works for one person doesn't work for the other person. And like you say, it can be detrimental.
And you just got to let things... if I've got somebody coming in here and they want to go on Slimming World, I can't stand Slimming World, and I can't stand Weight Watchers. And it's not because it doesn't work, because it absolutely can work. It's because it doesn't teach people the truth. Exactly, it doesn't level them up, because it's a business. It keeps them at arm's length. It tells them what they need to know to get results. But Slimming World, Weight Watchers, and all these slimming clubs, they know that as soon as they leave, they put it all the way back on again. Now, again, this is just my opinion.
That's your,
This is my opinion. But again, if somebody comes into the gym and they're like, look, Stephen, I want to come in here and lift weights. I'm happy in Slimming World. Absolutely. You stick to what works for you. Whatever my beliefs are, whatever works for you is the best way to work.
The thing is, you've got to think as well, though, haven't you? Like, what are these people doing with the time? If that's all they want to
Exactly. Do. And again, this is...
Sit there and just... go scroll through the Facebook to try and find somebody to antagonise and piss off because they haven't got anything better to do with the time. But what are they doing for themselves?
Yeah.
At least this person's potentially reaching out to people that might need that little bit of extra help.
Yeah.
And I believe from the post, it was from somebody that deals with food and meal prep. There'll be millions of people out there that don't know how to correctly eat.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, ultimately, it's people spending too much time focusing on other people rather than themselves.
Yeah.
And that's just humanity, isn't it? It's like everybody's more bothered about what somebody else is doing, somebody that they've never met, rather than their own self.
Yeah. Stay in your lane, look after yourself.
But that tells me that these people aren't happy within themselves.
No.
So what they're trying to do, they're trying to bring other people down, don't they? And trying to tell other people what they should be doing or what they shouldn't be doing, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? That's fine, voicing opinions. But when you're actually criticising somebody individually, that you're never ever going to help somebody by criticising as an individual.
No. I also think though as well, like realistically, the only way you can criticise somebody is if you've got something solid to back up your
No, but even if you was like,
you have a genuine conversation about it. Trolling somebody on Facebook or
but there's
Instagram
that thing about like placebo as well, though, isn't there? If somebody believes something works, then they believe it and it does work, then let them do it. You know what I mean? It's like you can only give voice and opinion to somebody. Like what we're doing now, we're voicing opinions.
Yeah.
But again, I did a video on skinny jab the other week. But if somebody came out and they told me, look, Stephen, I'm doing skinny jab because it's the only thing I could do, absolutely do it. If it works for you, yeah. But regardless of my opinion, though, isn't it? It's like I don't believe it. I don't believe it's good for people. But if somebody said that's what I want to do, I'll be like, well, I wouldn't recommend doing it. But if you believe it's the best thing for you, then who's anybody to tell you otherwise?
Yeah. No, I see your point on that.
And you got to let people find out by themselves. So they do it, and they go out.
You can give them the tools. You can give them knowledge, but it's up to them at the end of the day.
It's up to people. It's up to people, and you shouldn't be voicing opinions and pressuring people into doing other things to make them feel bad. The way to get results is just to keep it simple as possible, and just turn up every single day. And you don't have to track. You don't have to count your steps. You just got to get up every single day and just go, what can I do today to make me more active? What can I do today to improve my body? It could be lifting weights. It could be playing basketball, playing football, something, what's sport related or what's fitness related, isn't it? Hobbies.
Yeah.
Something what's going to get you off your ass and get you to be active.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in a gym. It doesn't have to be on a treadmill.
And every single day.
Like that. It just has to be something.
Yeah, what have I eaten? Every single day, what have I eaten? Am I eating good food? What's going to give me fuel to do all these things that I like to do, to be athletic?
Yeah, exactly. Educate yourself, but don't get too focused on it to a point where you overload your brain with so much information that you do overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, counting your macros to the nth degree and stuff like that. That's not healthy either for the 99% of people that are wanting to be fitter and healthier.
Yeah.
It's not. it's not valuable to them. As long as you're making sure that you make healthy choices.
Yeah, exactly. And
then that's the most important thing.
We advocate counting your calories and tracking your steps, and not using the scales, and doing body fat percentages and things like that, don't we?
Yeah, but we don't focus massively on. You should be making sure that you've gone over by 2% on your macros. Like,
don't be anal about things,
don't
isn't
be
it?
Too anal,
don't overcomplicate things.
Because that goes back to the enjoyment as well.
Yeah, and if tracking's not for you, it's not like, oh, tracking's not for me. Do I need to go to Slimming World? Just eat 3 meals a day, healthy meals. We all know what's healthy, don't we? Source of protein, source of fibre. Are you moving? How many steps are you getting? Are you moving? Are you getting out of breath when you are moving? Are you doing any sport? Are you going to the gym? Are you cycling? Are you doing things that are active?
Yeah.
Are you getting enough sunlight? Everybody knows what they need to do, but you got to do it, haven't you? So every single day you need to say to yourself, how am I going to improve myself every single day and get better? Get healthier and get better. Because every single day we get older, don't we? So we're going into
the inner workings of Stephen Morris.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Old age?
Yeah. What's it called when you get older? When you degenerate. So our body is, every single day we go through more of a degenerative process, don't we?
Yeah.
Every single day we get older. So, what are you doing to reverse the aging? How are you, becoming fitter? Are you becoming fitter? Are you doing more walking? Are you lifting more weight? Are you being able to jump higher doing, playing basketball? Because otherwise, if you let age take its toll, then you are kind of giving up to getting older.
Yeah.
You're giving up, aren't you?
Exactly, and you shouldn't.
You should never give up on yourself.
At the end of the day, we're expected to work till we're 67.
Yeah.
These days, because of retirement age goes up and up and up, and probably by the time we retire, it'll be 70.
Yeah.
But are you really wanting to live your life in your 70s as a frail old person because you haven't looked after your health when it matters?
Yeah.
Or when you're finally able to stop work, do you want to be able to be active enough to go on your holidays and to do things? The only way you're going to do that is like looking after your fitness and your health in your younger days. So
investing into your future with your health, what you do now when you're younger, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, because when you get to your 50s, it gets a lot harder, doesn't it?
It gets harder.
If you haven't done that previously, then your joints are stiffer. It's a lot harder to pull it back. It takes a lot longer.
And if you have made those investments into your ISAs and everything else and your pension and stuff like that, and you want to take early retirement, do you want to take early retirement and be healthy enough to go do all the things that you couldn't do in your 30s and your 40s because you were too busy bringing up your kids and doing everything else? Or
are you just going to work and drop dead?
Yeah.
And die by the time you get to 70. Exactly.
What's the point? What's the point in living?
What's the point? Exactly.
It really isn't.
You know what I mean? And it sounds a bit wishy-washy, this, doesn't it? It's like, invest in your future and then you can live until you're 90 and be a centurion and things like that, But it's so true, isn't it? And if you watch the documentary on Netflix, How to Live to 100, I mean, that tells you everything that you need to know to how, the longevity in life for your, for your organs, for your bones, for your body. And it's all related to nutrition, being active, having like a manual job so you're getting stronger, sunlight, sleep, stress. Lack of stress, isn't it?
Exactly. So basically, work on yourselves now.
So before it's too late, because there will become a time when it's too late. Again, when you're 50s and 60s, it does feel like when your body slows down and it's hard to move and it's hard to get up and down on the floor, it's so much harder to pull that back than doing it in your 30s, your 40s.
There can be a massive difference in the way an active 65-year-old looks to an inactive 65-year-old based on what they've done in the previous 20 years. There's a huge disparity. You could put two people next to each other who are exactly the same age, but one of them will probably still look in the 50s because they've been active and they've been fit. And it's not about how they look aesthetically, but it's how they move, how they do things. They're still able to do their own gardening, do the shopping, everything. And then you might have a 65-year-old who spent the majority of the time being inactive, where the body's slowly dying on them. Yeah,
it's like, again, from that Netflix documentary, there's like 80-year-old women working on farms in Italy and Japan.
Well, I mean, come on,
farming.
We could learn something from them.
Yeah, they're carrying heavy loads and moving things around, being active, And, you know, and they're still enjoying life, aren't they? They're not crippled. They haven't got Zimmer frames. They haven't got, you know, walking sticks. And they haven't got dementia and all these conditions and things. What we bring onto ourselves, most of them, don't we? By our lifestyles, our fast fix approach, isn't it? Like, you know, skinny jabs. We're going to inject something to lose fat rather than actually going out and moving and getting skinnier by actually fucking movement.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
We've all got 2 cars at home, haven't we? We'll all rather go to McDonald's than actually cooking something to eat. You know, we're fast fit. We're just following America, aren't we? We're a fast fit society, and that's the problem. And that'll kill us before we get to a fucking 70s.
Yeah. There's definitely certain countries out there that prioritise the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know, countries like Italy, France, all those, they have a much slower pace of life.
Yeah.
And works, obviously, they all still work. But work isn't the main focus, whereas this country, our main focus is putting in 40 to 50 hours a week.
Yeah. Trying to earn as much money as possible.
Earn as much money as you can because you want to keep up with the Joneses next door.
Yeah.
As opposed to
having a nice Range Rover Sport.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, we as a nation, we need to sort ourselves out.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
That was it.
That's it, guys. So a bit of ranting. I'm sure there's a few unpopular opinions out there. But don't get triggered. It is only an opinion.
Exactly, yeah.
It is only an opinion.
And
it doesn't mean that opinions are right.
Not at all. We could be wrong.
This is exactly how we feel about things.
And it's good to get it off your chest every now and again.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, yeah, till the next time.
Let's wrap that up, okay?
Wrap that up.
Thank you for watching.
Cheers. Bye.
See ya.